Om. 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 Sadasivasamaramбхам Vyasashankaramध्यamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya-kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Dhyanamoolam Gurormurtihi Pujamulam Guroh Padam Mantramulam Gurorvakyam Mokshamulam Guro Kripa. వెర్సెస్ ఒక్కొక్కటి ఇవాళ ఏం చేస్తామంటే చాలా దినాలు వ్యవధానం వచ్చేసింది మనకి ఫర్ వేరియస్ రీజన్స్ అంతరాయం ఉండడం వలన కొత్త శ్లోకాలు చెప్పుకోకుండా పాత ఒక్కసారి మనము రీక్యాప్ చేసుకుని మళ్ళీ టైం ఉంటే మనం ఒకటో రెండో కొత్తవి చూద్దాం ప్రయత్నం చేద్దాం. సో ఇట్ విల్ బి మోర్ ఎ రీక్యాప్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎస్టర్ వెర్సెస్ విచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ కంప్లీటెడ్. ఇన్ ఆత్మబోధ గ్రంథ Prakarana Grantha, we have completed 14 verses so far. Let us see each one of them. First sing that and understand briefly around 2 to 3 minutes into 14, maybe around 45-50 minutes, and then discuss anything. It's like that. That is the plan today, as we had the other day thought of. Tapobhir kshina papanam Shantanam vitaraginam Mumukshunam apekshoyam Atma Bodho vidhiyate. So, this is the opening verse which sets the tone for the rest of the Grantha. Tapobhir kshina papanam Shantanam vitaraginam Mumukshunam-apekshooyam Atma Bodho vidhiyate. To whom is the text meant for and why it is taught? Two aspects have been covered. Atma Bodha is not a general or theoretical philosophical work. It is a direct means of self-knowledge meant specifically for qualified seekers. Who are those? Who is fit to receive this Atma Jnana? Hereafter we call him Acharya. Our Shankaracharya is saying list 4 inner qualifications. 1. Those whose sins are weakened by austerity. Tapobhir kshina papanam. A purified mind only can absorb the Atma Jnana. Self-knowledge does not arise in a distracted and agitated mind. Number 2. Those who are calm. Shantanam vitaraginam. Mental quietude and inner composure is another essential attribute. Turbulent mind cannot grasp the subtlety of the Atma Jnana. Vitaraginam. Those free from any type of attachment. Dispassion towards worldly and sensory pleasures and worldly gains is a fundamental requirement. Attachment keeps attention outward and does not allow you to focus inward, and mostly desirous of liberation. What is the phrase there? Mumukshunam apeksho. Keeping in mind those people who are longing for liberation. I am this Atma Bodho, Atma vidhiyate, as a means of knowledge is being presented to you. Vidhiyate. Liberation comes through knowledge and not action. This teaching removes the ignorance which will cause alone the liberation from bondage. The central teaching of this verse is self-knowledge is not produced. Self-knowledge is what is already there and only to be revealed by the purified mind just as a clean mirror reflects clearly your image. A clean mirror is essential. So too, a purified mind reflects the truth of the self. So this verse tells the students, prepare your mind. When the mind is ready, pursue Atma Jnana and knowledge will acquire. You will acquire knowledge and that will liberate. So what is the shift from? The shift is from action towards inward look or inward qualification. We are not asking you to do this ritual, this karma, this action, which will produce moksha. So the shift is entirely from action to inaction. Not by action, but by inaction. Both Atma Bodha begins with not with the metaphysics, but with the adhikritatva. Who is the adhikari? The fourfold things we have said. No, this is called the adhisthana chatushtayam, or the fourfold adhikari. In other words, it is called the eligibility criteria. Number 2. बोधोऽन्यसाधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्मोक्षैकसाधनम् पाकस्य वह्निवत् ज्ञानं विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति. This verse is the central doctrine of the Advaita Vedanta. What is that? Knowledge alone is the direct means for the Atma Jnana. Anything else is only a contributory thing and it is not directly leading you to the Atma Jnana. What are the various other disciplines we have? Rituals are there. So many karma kanda, so much karma kanda is there. Worship is there. Austerity, tapas is there. Meditation is there. Many other prakriyas are there. All these are contributory to the Atma Jnana, but they do not directly lead you to the Atma Jnana. They do not give you moksha. Meaning of the first line, Bodhonya sadhanebhyo hi. Bodha is the only direct means to liberation. Here Bodha is self-knowledge. Sakshan mokshaika sadhanam. Sakshat, directly, immediately, eka sadhanam. The only means, the soul means. Liberation is not produced by action, not earned by any result. It is not a fruit to be claimed. It is not a place to travel. It is not a fruit that you acquire in future tense. And it is not newly created. It is revealed through knowledge because bondage itself is due to ajnana or ignorance. Why actions cannot give liberation? Actions produce result. Time is required for the results to come. Atma Jnana doesn't require time. There is no result here. And actions produce limited actions, or all actions are limited actions. Limited actions can give only limited fruit. You cannot get unlimited fruit by limited action. Any action you start, it starts and ends in time, and it is so limited. Limited can only give a limit, and it is dependent upon the substratum, the Chaitanya, on which the action is being done. So it is not a direct means of this one. And also they are changing. Actions do change a lot from time to time, depending on the person who does, the mindset and the circumstances. Everything changes. Anything changeable is not the absolute. So they are only relative. Liberation is what? Freedom from limitation. Karma is limitation. Freedom is from liberation is freedom from limitation is karma, recognition of true nature, and it is not a product, whereas karma produces a product. Therefore, action cannot remove ignorance. Action at best can contribute to the purity of the mind through which you go towards the Atma Jnana. He gives a beautiful analogy. Pakasya vahnivat jnanam vina moksho na siddhyate. Fire alone cooks the food, my dear. Knowledge alone gives liberation. There could be several ingredients to make cooking. We require clean vessels, we require spices, we require so many other associated things to prepare the food, but only the fire that cooks the food, and all are sahakari sadhanas, the associated ancillary disciplines. The main sadhana is just like the fire there. Jnanam is the only thing. Discipline purifies, devotion studies your mind, meditation prepares the mind, but self-knowledge or moksha cannot occur without the removal of the ajnana. What is the core insight for the students now? It is a mistake about our identity which is causing the bondage. The mistake is removed not by action, not by doing something, but by clearly understanding who am I. Thus, spiritual practices prepare the mind, knowledge liberates. This verse shifts the students from effort-centered spirituality to clarity and inner eye-centered spirituality. So all our rituals, all our karma kanda, all our pujas are outside. They are effort related. Here no effort is needed. It is only realization in the inner quarters. Go to the third verse. अविरोधतया कर्मा नाविद्यां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यां निहन्त्येव तेजस्तिमिरसङ्घवत्. This action very clearly, this verse explains why action cannot remove the ignorance. In the previous verse, we said action cannot remove ignorance, only knowledge can remove. Why is it so? Why knowledge alone does that? The main teaching is, Acharya says, action does not oppose ignorance. If two things are opposite, one annuls the other. Just like the light is quite opposite to darkness. Whenever there is light, there cannot be darkness. Darkness can be removed not by any other means except the light. Bringing 100 brooms or one super soaker or one vacuum cleaner will not remove the darkness. Only the light will remove the darkness because they are quite opposite. Whereas the karma and the ignorance are on the same side. They are of the same category. Ajnana and karma are on the same category. One is not opposite to the other. So karma cannot remove the ignorance. Only the jnana can remove the ignorance. Action can build what? It can give you a purity. It can give you cleanliness. It can give you movement. It changes, situations will occur. But action cannot correct the mistake of knowledge. So, for example, there is a rope and snake. So you have got an illusion of a snake on a rope. Any amount of karma or puja or Vishnu Sahasranama or reading Bhagavad Gita will not drive away the fear. What drives away the fear? Only a light focusing, no, this is not snake, this is only rope. That is how it occurs. So means avirodhataya karma means they are not opposite to each other. They are on the same side. Karma and ignorance are on the same side. Whereas knowledge works because it is the opposite of ignorance. Knowledge destroys the ignorance. Light removes the darkness. Similarly, it works. Analogy, light and darkness cannot coincide. Ajnana and jnana are opposite, so jnana removes the ignorance. What is the takeaway here? Spiritual efforts, of course, prepares the mind. All your rituals, pujas, karmas will make you pure and attain the state of qualification to go to the Atma Jnana. Liberation happens only at the moment of right understanding. This verse firmly establishes bondage is due to ignorance. Ignorance ends with self-knowledge alone. Slokam 4. Avachinna iva jnana tannasheshati kevalah swayam prakashate yatma meghapaye amshumaniva. Why it is happening? Why I am getting the ajnana? This verse explains how self appears limited and how liberation is simply removal of the so-called appearance or bhranti. Self seems to be limited by ignorance. You think that you are limited to this body. You think you are Lakshman. You think you are Chaitanya. You think you are Kamesh. Like that, we limit ourselves to this body, and that limitation is because of the ignorance. Appears as though limited. Avachinna iva ajnana. The iva is very important. Eva in Sanskrit is as though. Apparently, self is infinite, all-pervading, indivisible, but due to ignorance, it seems confined to the body, located at this one particular place, and separate very much from all the others. This is my confusion. This is my ajnana. This is my limitation. Like space, appearing divided by parts. There is a part space, there is a room space, there is a bucket space, like that. As though space has got many, many spaces, we don't have so many spaces. In fact, space is only one. Because of the container, we are confusing that there is a part space, dabba space, and then room space, and matha space, hall space, like that. That's why avachinna eva, as though limited. Acharya is very careful in using the word eva. Self is not really limited. It appears as though limited due to ignorance. One sun appears reflected in many waters. The sun is only one. He appears as though there are many suns. One Atma is there. It appears as though there are many people who are one separate from one another. In reality, they are not separate. Only when you consider the body, they appear to be separate. What happens when ignorance ends? When ignorance is destroyed, self shines by itself. You don't have to do anything. Just like a diamond is there in a box, it is covered by several coverings and layers. Diamond is self-luminous. What all you have to do is remove the coverings. It is self-luminous. So only the false idea is I am limited has to be removed. He gives a beautiful analogy. There is a Surya or the sun is there. There is a cloud in between. As though the sun is not there, the cloud covers the sun as though it is not there. The cloud is temporary. It will go away in a few hours or seconds or minutes, depending on how big size or small size. And once the cloud is removed, then the sun is ever shining. You don't have to separately make an effort to make the sun appear to you. Avachinna iva jnanat तन्नाशे सति केवलः स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा मेघापये अंशुमनिव. Then we go to the fifth verse. अज्ञानकलुषं जीवं ज्ञानाभ्यासाद्विनिर्मलं कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् jalam katakarenuvat. Another beautiful analogy. This verse explains how knowledge removes the impurity and how ignorance disappears after the knowledge arises. So the individual made impure by ignorance. By nature you are pure. You are Satchidananda Atma. You appear as though you are impure and becomes purified through the practice of knowledge. Just like there is muddy water. In olden days, they used to mix a special paste called katakarenu or chillaginja or whatever it is, or the nirmali bija in Hindi. Once you put it in that, the nirmali bija draws all the malina to the bottom, along with the nirmali bija powder also sings. Chalam katakarenuvat ajnana kalusham jivam. This jiva is impure, made impure temporarily, as though impure. Why? I am the body, I am limited, I am bound, I am dukkhi, I am sukhi, like that. This mistaken identity is impurity. It belongs to the mind. I am having sorrow, it is a mind quality. I am happy, it is a mind quality. I am weak, the prana quality. I am tall, body quality. All these qualities we are imposing on the mind. So, repeatedly, if you think that you are not the body and the mind, that knowledge will definitely clear you of this confusion. The analogy used here is wonderful. A special powder is used in olden days to clarify the muddy water. When the powder is added, all dirt settles down, water becomes crystal clear, and after cleaning, the powder also settles down. Ajnana kalusham jivam ज्ञानाभ्यासात् विनिर्मलं कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येत् जलं कतकरेणुवत्. Important insight, ignorance is not removed by force, not by bhaya, but by naya, taming. It settles naturally when the clarity is obtained by the knowledge. Liberation is not creating purity. Liberation is removing the confusion. Nirmala, nischala. Chala is movement, mala is impurity. The mind, if it is moving, it is chala, mala is the impurity. Nirmala, nischala manas, automatically the Atma shines forth. Self is always pure. The mind becomes clear through knowledge. When ignorance ends, the seeker discovers, I was Brahman, I am Brahman, and I will be Brahman. In all the three kalas, past, present, and future, I am none other than the Brahman, and I am ever free. That is the fifth verse. Let us go to the sixth verse. संसारः स्वप्नतुल्यो हि रागद्वेषादि संकुलः स्वकाले सत्यवद्भाति प्रबोधे सति असद्भवेत्. Then I am in the transmigratory world or the samsara or the laukika world. It appears as though very real. How? Compared to swapna. Swapna, things appear very real. There is a dog. I am frightened. I was running. The dog is unreal. The frightening is unreal. The running is unreal. All of them, though unreal, they appear as though very real in that moment. Swakale satyavat bhati. In that time, at the time of swapna, they appear as though very real. Once I get into the Jagrata, oh, this is only swapna. No, I have no fear. Likewise, from this level, you go on to the next level of Atma Jnana. All this worldly life also appears like the swapna. Samsaro swapna tulyogi. It is associated with raga, dvesha, adi, sankulaha. It is a combination of attachment, like, dislike, and all the secondary things. Swakale satyavat bhati prabodhe sati asad bhavet. Once the prabodha or the inner self-knowledge occurs, all this becomes unreal. The verse explains the nature of the samsara. What is samsara? What is the worldly experiences we have? Shows that it is not absolute reality. Though experientially the differences are seen, in reality the differences are not there. Samsara is like a dream filled with attachment, raga, dvesha, aversion, and other emotions. It appears real while experiencing swakale satyavadbhati, not upon awakening, prabodhe sati asadbhavet. It is known to be unreal when I awaken. The Swapna Drishtanta is from Mandukya Upanishad. Excellent Drishtanta in Mandukya Upanishad. Experiences feel very real. My wife is loving me. My child is studying well. All these experiences make me think they are very real. Joy and fear are intense. We react as though everything is real. But in reality, when I wake up from the sleep, nothing is real in the dream. Same thing. This is a longer dream. Life is a longer dream. Even in English, merrily, merrily, life is but a dream. Row, row, row about, you tell the child, and say, life is but a dream. Exactly. Those Westerners also have got the same thing. Pleasures and sorrows feel real. Relationships, success, loss appear very important, but from the standpoint of self-knowledge, they are seen as mere appearance, meaning raga, dvesha, adi sankulam. The world experience is crowded with attachment, aversion, desire, fear, all these things. Swakale satyavat bhati. At the time of experiencing, they appear as though very true, very real. While the dream also, during the dreaming time, ask any dreamer, do you really see the snake? Yeah, I have seen the dog. It is trying to bite me. I ran away also. I had fear. But once he gets up, he knows all this. Okay, that getting up is called the prabodha. Prabodha is getting from the wakefulness to the turiya or the atma state. Okay, the key point here is we are not denying the experiences of the world. Experiences of the world are there. World is experientially present. You have a family, you are living in the community, you have a job. All these are experientially there. Vedanta never negates the experiential world, but asks you to examine what is the absolute reality in this. How far this particular thing I am seeing as though real is really absolutely true. Just to examine that. Once you examine, you know that it is not really the same what you are thinking. So this is the seventh verse. Now we go to the sixth verse is over. We go to the seventh verse. तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति सुक्तिका रजतं यथा यावन्न ज्ञायते ब्रह्मा सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम्. This verse explains why the world appears real. So we earlier verse we said world is appearing real, unreal. Unreal world is appearing as real. You find out which is the real one. Why it is appearing real? When it appears, and what appearance loses it? When that appearance loses the status of reality. The world appears real only until the Brahman is not real. Yavanna jnayate Brahma. Until the time you don't know the Brahman, the world appears as though real. He has given a beautiful analogy. Silver is mistakenly perceived on an oyster shell in the beach. There is an oyster shell is there. Sunlight is falling. It is glittering. You feel as though it is silver. But in reality, there is no silver before your illusion or during your illusion or after the illusion. What is there is only Sukti. Likewise, when you are illused by the whole world, the Brahman is the only reality. During illusion, before the illusion, after the illusion. Brahman is the only substratum, that is the reality, and everything else is a projection. It is a kalpana. It is an image, a sort of a reflection that you are seeing as though it is from a distance. The shell shines and looks like silver. The observer reacts as though silver is there. He may try to grab the silver and try to prepare some ornaments with the silver also. He will go and search for more oyster shells thinking that all silver is thrown in the beach. Silver disappears. Shell remains. Silver is never truly there. Silver is only an imagination. As long as the Brahman is not known, evanna jnayate Brahma, the world appears as real. Ignorance gives reality status to appearances. We treat the world as though it is independent, real, and solid. Unfortunately, it is not independent, it is not real, it is not what you think. What is Brahman described here? The substratum of everything. The substratum of all illusions is the Brahman, the underlying reality, the non-dual Brahman, like the shell that supports the illusion. Which is supporting the illusion of the Rajita or the silver. In the absence of Rajita, in the absence of the oyster shell, you don't have any Brahman. So here Brahman is there during the superimposition time, before that and after that. This Brahman can exist without superimposition. But superimposition cannot exist without the Brahman. Brahman must be there. The real one should be there to have a superimposition. Without the real one, there is no superimposition. But real one can exist even in the absence of superimposition. The world is a superimposition. The Brahman exists in spite of world not being there. That is the example. In the night, when you are sleeping, there is no world at all for you. But still, the Chaitanya in you is continuing. Even when all the ideas of mind, me, everything are destroyed, entire Chaitanya Smaran has disappeared, no relationship is seen in the sleep state, but still you as consciousness has witnessed, yeah, I slept well next morning, or I did not sleep well. Who is experiencing? Somebody must have noted your experience of sleep. That knower is you are and not the projection. What disappears is the misunderstanding that the world exists independently. Silver vanishes as silver, but shell remains as it is. The world is re-understood We understood as name and form, Brahman alone is the real. What is the takeaway? Ignorance projects reality into the world. Because of the ajnana, I have perceived Rajita or Vendi there or the silver there. Knowledge shifts reality back to the source that is on the shell. The student must understand world borrows the existence from the Brahman. All the worldly appearances are borrowed reality. Paratantra, borrowed reality, dependent reality. Brahman is the independent reality, and it is the original one. The next, the eighth one. उपादाने अखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयन्यान्ते बुद्बुदानीव वरिणी बुद्बुदानीव वारिणे. In the water, the bubbles appear. What is a bubble? What is a wave? What is a surf there? What is a drop of water? All that is only the samudra only. We are calling, oh, this is a bigger wave, that is a smaller wave, this is a bubble, that is surf. And we are playing with those things. They are very nice to play at those things for us as well as for children. Even we also, when you go to beach, you are tempted to play with the waves. Oh, the big one is coming, let me wait with. Like that we say. But we don't understand the reality that the samudra is the real one, which is projecting as different. उपादाने अखिलाधारे jaganti parameshware. He is bringing in the concept of upadana, the material cause for the world. The material cause for the world is the relationship between the world and the supreme reality using a vivid image. The entire universe arises, exists, and dissolves in the supreme. The wave arises, exists, and dissolves in the water, in the ocean. Likewise, the world appears sarga, sthiti, laya, nyanti. Sarga is appearance. Sthiti is continuation. Laya is the dissolution. The word upadana is the material cause. The substance from which something is made up of is called the upadana. For example, the clay is the upadana for pot. Gold is the upadana for all the ornaments. Okay, likewise, there is a material cause for everything. Here, the material cause is the Brahman. The world does not come something outside the Brahman. The Brahman itself is the world. Brahman itself is the substance appearing as diverse. Akhila thare. Akhila means everything. Khila means part. Akhila means no part. When you say khila, khila is some part. Akhila, no part. Everything. There is nothing that which is beyond Brahman. Akhila dhare. Brahman is not only material, not only the material cause, but also who is producing the wave. It is produced out of water, out of ocean, and ocean itself is creating the wave. Not only it is the substratum and substance which produces the wave, it is also the creator of the wave. That is called nimitta karana. Whereas in case of a pot, the clay is the upadana karana, the potter is the nimitta karana. The one who prepares the clay cannot become pot on its own. Somebody is required to prepare that. Here the preparer as well as the material, both are param. This is called abhinna, upadana, nimitta, karanam, brahma. Abhinna, only one. For you also the same upadana. For him also same. It's not different. And abhinna, upadana, material, nimitta, efficient, the doer, the substance as well as the person who prepares the world. For example, mother is there. Mother is only a nimitta karana to prepare the coffee. But coffee upadana karana is separate. So many ingredients are required. They are the materials. The preparer mother is a nimitta karana. Here Paramatma is the nimitta karana as well as the upadana. And abhinna, upadana, nimitta, vivarta, karanam, brahma. Here the word is vivarta important. I don't know whether I have told. Vivarta means not undergoing any change, it produces the effect. Suppose the original one changes, it is transformation. We are not talking about transformation. The original should not change. If Brahman were to change into Lakshman, then Brahman loses the Brahmanhood because Brahman is nirvikari. He is not supposed to change. Brahman, without changing, he produces the world. How? Without changing, the Surya is producing 100 Suryas. Without you changing as Lakshman, you are producing 100 different dreams. Did you ever change? No, nothing changed, but the dream appeared. Like that, Abhinna, Upadana, Nimitta, Vivarta, Karanam, Brahma. Okay, now only water there is real. Bubbles form, come and go. Creation, sustenance, and dissolution happen. Brahman remains unchanged. Important insight. The name, form are temporary appearances. And the reality is only the Brahman inside. Everything begins in the Brahman, rests in the Brahman, and resolves into the Brahman. So, first, the best example is your sleep. The sleep begins in your mind, rests in your mind, and dissolves in your mind. You are the creator of the Swapna. Likewise, the Paramatma is creator of this big Swapna. Okay, Slokam 9. Satchidatmanyanusyute niche Vishnau prakalpitah vyaktayo vividhah sarvah hatake katakadivat. Another beautiful analogy he has brought. You go to a goldsmith and give him one biscuit of gold or 5 grams or 20 grams of gold to him. Whatever ornament you want him to prepare, he will prepare. Where is the gold in the ornament? Where is the gold? Where can I check for the gold in the ornament? Every part. So, every part of the ornament is but gold. Okay? Likewise, every part of the manifest world is but Brahman. Okay? So, like Hatake, Kataka, Divat. Hataka is gold, Kataka is bangle, Adi, etc., ornaments, Sarvah, Vividhah, manifold, Sarvah, everything is only Hataka, or the gold, Kataka, etc., are but name and form. From the Brahman, this is Lakshman, this is Kamesh, this is Sarma, this is so and so, are only names and forms which are made out of the Brahman. Just as I cannot have a part of the ornament which is not gold, here also I cannot have a part of the universe which is not Brahman. Everything belongs to Brahman. Satchidatmanyanusyute niche Vishnau prakalpita. He is introducing the words of Vishnu in this particular sloka and also in the previous sloka, Jaganti Parameshwarau will come in the previous sloka. The Parameshwara and Vishnu are not the things which we do in a prayer and ritual and puja, the Vaikuntha-vashi and the Kailasa-vashi is not meaning. Vishnu in Veda is Sarvavyapaka. All pervasive tattva is called Vishnu. Satchidatman Yanusyute Nitye Vishnau Prakalpita. All diverse forms in the universe are imagined. Prakalpita, the word is very important. Kalpita is imagined. Prakalpita, very much imagined. Prakristena kalpita, prakalpita. Imagined on the eternal, all-pervading Satchidatman Anusyute, just as various ornaments are imagined in the. So the moment you give the gold and ask him to prepare a necklace, in the mind you already imagine what necklace you want. The goldsmith also imagines the necklace. Then only he prepares the necklace. Once it is, oh, it has come like what I thought. But no, it is not good. I did not like the model. Give me the gold. Okay, half an hour later you come. He melts and gives the gold. That is how self is described as Satchidatmanyanusyute, Sat, pure existence, Chit, pure consciousness, Nitye, eternal. And then Vishnu, all pervading. 4 attributes. Sat, Chit, Nitya, Vishnu. Nitya is eternal. That is all 3 times, past, present, and future, no discrimination. It is beyond the time. All-pervading is Vishnu. Upon the reality, the many forms of the world are projected or superimposed. Prakalpita. Forms are not separate from the creation. The appearances are based are names and forms. A bracelet, a ring, a necklace are all but shapes and forms. We, Kamesh, Sharma, Lakshman, Chaitanya are names and forms of Brahman. And we are mistaking that I am different from the Brahman. I am the Purva Jiva and you are the Paramatma. I worship you. Please grant me boons. You will save me. This is called Dvaita. That is not the way we have to look at it. The ornament, gold example, the shape of the ornament, the function of the ornament, the name of the ornament, the size of the ornament, the weight of the ornament may be different, but the ingredient is the same. Likewise, the shape of this person may be shape of hair, shape of the vriksha, shape of a monkey may be different. But ingredient-wise, they are the same consciousness. Key insight, multiplicity does not divide the reality. Multiplicity here cannot divide the reality, and in fact, it teaches the reality of oneness. The differences belong to appearance, function, and transaction, not the underlying truth. The world is not an independent second thing from the Brahman. It is the same as the Brahman, projected as various names, forms, and functions. All the forms are appearances only of oneself. Understanding this shifts the vision from diversity and plurality to divinity and the unity. Okay. Number 10. यथाकाशो हृषीकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदात् भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत्. Yatha, just as Akasha, the sky, Hrishikesho, Nanopadhigato, Vibhuhu, Hrishikeshaha. Here the direct name is Krishna. He has brought Parameshwara, Vishnu, and now Krishna. But tells you this is not the Murti I am talking. Parameshwara is Parabrahma, Vishnu is the all-pervading. Hrishikesha means the power which controls all the Indriyas. Okay, Rishika Ishaha. Rishika is the Indriya, the controller of the Indriyas. If I am able to talk, it is because of the Chaitanya. If I am able to think, because of the Chaitanya. If I am able to work, it is because of the Chaitanya. All the Indriyas are under the control of the Lord. That's why he is called the Hrishikesha. Here, not the Krishna, the blue boy, but the Indriya controller, the Parabrahma. Yatha, just like Akashaha, the sky, Rishikeshaha, in the Rishikesha, in the Indriya controller, Nana Upadhigataha, takes various upadhis, Vipuhu, the controller of everything. Tad Vedhat, which Vedhat? Upadhigata Vedhat, Bhinnavat Bhati. Because of the upadhis are separate, he looks different, chair looks different, bird looks different, sky looks different, water looks different. Because of the upadhi, Tad Vedhat, Upadhi Vedhat, Bhinnavat Bhati. Tannashe, one should dissolve the upadhi concept. You see the oneness everywhere. Kevalo bhavet. Kevalo means oneness, only one. Acharya says, consciousness is one, appears as many things in the world. Just as the space, all-pervading space, appears as though divided as Lakshman Kumar's bedroom and where the Chaitanya's hall space, this Chaitanya Smaran's hall, or the pool space like that, we have so many, the space appears as though divided and into different, because of the different containers. But in fact, it is the same undivided space. For example, the space in this Bangalore, in this hall, is not different from the space in America or any other city. You don't have to go somewhere to understand what is space. Where you are, there itself is the space. So one person stepped out to Kashi and Hrishikesh to find out where is space. And ultimately he realized by the knowledge of Guru, the space is where you are standing in your own home. You don't have to come this distance. If you want to understand Brahman, you don't have to go anywhere. You understand the Brahman is here itself. Atma Devo Paro Deva. Atma Tirtham Param Tirtham. Atma Deva Paro Deva. The best tirtha or punyasthala is the deva is the can be obtained here. Don't have to travel anywhere. Space is indivisible, all pervading, unaffected. But when enclosed in a pot, we call it as pot space, room space, hall space, Bangalore space, Delhi space is contaminated. Delhi space is not contaminated. Delhi's air is contaminated. Space is not contaminated. Space is all the same. We speak of various spaces. The division is only appearance, but in the space there are no divisions. Nanopadhi. Upadhi is the limiting agent, somewhat like the conditioning agent. The body, the mind, the senses, the intellect, the objects, the world around. Consciousness is reflected in different mind body setups and appears as though bhinnavad bhati, appears as though divided. Acharya precisely says self does not become many. It appears only like that, just as space never becomes many spaces, but it appears as though it is various different spaces. What happens when the upadhis are negated? Tannashe. That means we remove the upadhi. Remove the upadhi means remove this person, remove this person, remove. How can we remove? We cannot remove. Only in the mind we annul the concept of the limitation. Here removal does not mean to know that the part space is same as the room space. I don't have to destroy the part. Let the part be there as it is. But still I can perceive the part space or the cup space is the same as the universal space. Here, nashe means not a physical destruction, but a contemplative and bhavana matra destruction of the upadhi bheda. What is the takeaway? Multiplicity belongs to the upadhi or the conditioning factor. It is not an attribute of the consciousness. Consciousness is one everywhere, just like the space. Remove the identification of the upadhi, the truth of non-duality is understood very well. The many are but appearances. The self is only one. Now we have got the 11th verse. नानोपाधि वशादेव जाति नामाश्रयादय आत्मन्यारोपिता है तो ये रसवर्णादि भेदवत्. The water, pure water, distilled water is colorless, odorless, tasteless. But we say, oh, your water in your house is very sweet. Oh, water in his house is salty. Water in this here is pure in this pond. We say, why? Because of the kalushita by the other thing. Likewise, what is that? We have added some upadhi, some ingredient to appear, make the water appear different from one another. Nana upadhi vashati eva. Upadhi adjunct or the limiting adjunct only, dividing he belongs to Brahmin, he belongs to Kshatriya, she belongs to Sudra, Jati, Varna, Ashram, she is woman, he is man, all this Jati, Varna, Ashrama, he is a boy, he is a student, he is householder, he is Vanaprastha, he is sannyasi, all this because of the upadhi. Nanopati vashadeva jati namashrayadaya adaya etc. Any number of divisions you wanted to make, you are making already. Atmanyaropita. Everything is projected on the Sachidananda Atma. How? Toye rasavarnadi bethavat. Just as in the water, I have imposed several impurities, several colors. You add ink to the water, it becomes blue water. There is no blue water. The water is not blue. You add some red color to the water, it becomes red water. It's not red water. You can say cool drinks, orange drink. It's water only. When orange is mixed, it appears orange juice, isn't it? So, no color, no taste, water, but still appears as though having color and water. Likewise, caste belongs to the body, name belongs to the personality, roles belong to your function. And these are not you. You are the uncontaminated Satchidananda Atma. These are mere superimpositions. The borrowed identity, samsarga adhyasa. Samsarga adhyasa means because of the intimate contact with the red color, the water appeared red. Because of the intimate contact with bad odor, the water is smelling bad. In the messages you see, my garden water is smelling very bad. Water is not smelling. The pollutant is making it smell. So remove the pollutant, water becomes pure. Okay, I am not the roles I play. I am the witnessing awareness behind that. Sloka 12. पंचीकृत महाभूत संभवं कर्म संचितम शरीरं सुख दुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते. Is now giving the three series bodies: the gross body, the subtle body, and the karana body. What is this gross body made up of? Then we'll have a doubt. No, if this is not real, what is this must be made up of? What is the material here? पंचीकृत महाभूत संभवम कर्म संचितम. It is made of the pancha mahabhutas. When the mahabhutas intermingle with one another, that is called panchikaranam. The admixed bhutas or altered bhutas are the ones cause for the body or the stula body. Then why my body is different from Lakshman's body? Why he is looking very bright? Why I am looking very dull? Karma sanchitam. You brought a bag, my dear. That bag only makes me each upasi appear. One person is very brilliant, he is IIT student, other person is very dullard, he could not even pass 5th class. Why? Karma sanchitam shariram sukha dukkhanam. Then what is the purpose of this body? Sukha dukkhanam. Sukha and dukkha have to be experienced. That experience occurs in the body. Bhoga ayatanam, the locus of the anubhava. Anubhava is bhoga. What are the anubhavas? Sukha and dukkha, etc. Anubhavas occur in the physical body. Physical body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, and space. They are subtle. The subtle ones are grossified, panchikrit. They are admixed. And that admixture produces the stula body. So, what type of body is material, composite, perishable? Meaning, karma sanchitam. It is a product and conditioned by your previous karmas. It is finite. Because the karmas differ, the bodies and the upadhis differ. Bhogayatanam. It is the place, locus of experience. Body is the field of experience. Then who am I? I am the witness of the experience. The body the skin is very dry, it has become very thin. I lost weight. This is body's property, and I am the witness of the property. Why this matter? I am sick, I am happy, I am suffering. You always say. You should not say I am sick. My body is sick. I am the witness of the sickness. I am happy. You are not happy. You are neither happy nor unhappy. You are the Satchidananda Atman. You are the witness of the happiness. Why happiness goes? Are you also going? When happiness goes, you are still there. When the unhappiness comes, then you are still there. You are neither happiness nor unhappiness. Likewise, suffering. Okay, the takeaway is body is made, created, and it ever changing. It is sanchitam, karma sanchitam. It is temporary instrument for you to experience this one. Just as you keep your instrument, this eyeglass, clean to have a clear vision of this one, you have to keep the body clean to experience the inner Atman. Need not neglect the body. Self is unmade, unchanging, and the witness. Now, 13th. पंच प्राण मनो बुद्धि दशेन्द्रिय समन्वितम अपंचीकृत बुभूतोत्थम सूक्ष्मांगम भोग साधनम. Angam, body, sukshma, subtle body are the sukshma sarira. What is it made up of? Pancha prana, prana, vyana, apana, samana, udana, manaha, buddhi. And then 5 indriyas, 5 outer indriyas, karmendriyas, 5 reception indriyas, jnanendriyas. 5 plus 5 plus 5 pranas, 15, buddhi plus mind, 17 components are there. These are the sukshmangam. Why this is? Bhoga sadhanam. This is the instrument through which they experience. Earlier, Stula Sharira is Bhoga Ayatanam, the place on which this particular meeting is conducted. The hall, the table, these are the Bhoga Ayatanam. Bhoga Sadhanam, the instrument of conducting this meeting is this one. Bhoga Ayatanam. This meeting conducting is on the table in the hall. One is Bhoga Ayatanam, the other is Bhoga Sadhanam. Out of what is it made up of? Panchi, apanchīkrita bhūtodham, made up of the unmixed, unadmixed, pure bhutas, which are the subtle elements. The subtle elements produce the Sukshma Sarira. Because they are subtle elements, there is Sukshma Sarira also is subtle. Because can you see the mind? You cannot see. Can you see the vision? You cannot see. You know that there is vision. You can only experience it, but you cannot see the Sukshma. Okay, can you see the prana? You cannot. You can only see and experience the prana. It is Sukshma. Pancha prana mano buddhi dashendriya samanvitam apanchikrita bhutotham sukshmangam bhoga sadhanam. This is the bhoga sadhana. So I am not the bhoga sadhana. Why? Bhoga sadhanas are changing. Bhoga sadhanas are different. Bhoga sadhanas are created. Bhoga sadhanas are not there when I am sleeping. When I am in deep sleep, where is my mind? Where is my intellect? Where is my perception organs? Where are my motor organs? None of them are functioning. Still, I know I am there. So I am not the Sukshma Sarira. So the witness is not visible, not tangible, yet experienced. Bhoga sadhana. Important distinction. Mind feels, intellect decides, pranas function. You are the awareness of all these things. You are the awareness of the feelings, you are the awareness of the decisions, you are the awareness of the prana function. Therefore, you are not them. I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings, not my intellect. I am the witness of all these things. Gross body, outer instrument, subtle body, inner instrument. Self is witness of both. The final one is about the Karana Sharira. With this, the topic shifts. Luckily, we have stopped at a correct juncture at 14. From 15 onwards, we are getting into a new chapter. That's why I thought we will summarize up to this. Let us see. Anadya vidya nirvacha karanopādhiruchyate upadhitritayādanyat anya atmanam avadharayet. Anadi avidya. Anadi, no beginning. Avidya, ignorance. Anirvachya, I cannot define what is anirvachya. Avidya, it is there, undefinable, undescribable, eternal, long, avidya. That is called the Karana Upadhi. That is there. And what is Atma is Upadhi Tritayat. Other than the Karana Sarira, other than the Stula Sarira, other than the Sukshma Sarira, Anyat Atmanam. Atmanam is the Anyat, other than the three Sariras, witness of the three Sariras. Avadharayet, you must thoroughly understand. The word Avadharayet is an imperative form. That means you must understand this difference that you are not the Stula Sarira. You are the witness of the Stula Sarira. You are not the Sukshma Sarira. You are the witness of the Sukshma. You are neither the Karana Sarira or Ajnana also. You are the witness of the Ajnana. You are the Jnana Swarupa. Beginningless, indestructible ignorance is called the causal limiting adjunct of the Karana Sarira. One must understand the self as distinct from the threefold Sariras, a set of adjuncts. All three are upadhis. Ignorance in the seed form, root cause of individuality, the source from which the subtle and gross bodies arise. Okay? So, Atma, the one, is not created, not a historical event, is an ever present, and misunderstanding is that I am confusing myself with the three bodies. So, however, the beginningless, it can be thorough knowledge, the indescribable one. Avidya also indescribable. Gross body, physical layer, subtle body, mind, prana, and senses, causal body, ignorance in the seed form. How do I know that I have ignorance? In the night, I have slept. And morning again your to-do list has come. Who has brought the to-do list? It's in the seed form. And the moment you become awake, your to-do list, who you are, where you are, all that is sprouting from that Karana Sarira. The Karana Sarira gives forth the next day experiences. Likewise, next Janma experiences also. That is why it is called Karana Sarira. Then who am I? The witness of awaken, the witness of the dream, the witness of the deep sleep also. So, we are not the physical body, we are not the mental intellectual system, we are not the state of ignorance either. You are the awareness in whose presence all the three appear and disappear. This prepares the student to recognize the self as ever free. Om Tat Sat. What is the time?